Hey, we wanted to pick up a Nintendo Lambo on the Switch.
Good choice. This game isn't breaking the internet. Now, was there anything else in for you guys? Did you guys want to like pre-order anything?
I don't know.
What's coming out?
Well, you got Call of Duty, where you get the Call of Duty diaper, or the new Battlefield, where you get a soundtrack. But that soundtrack is just a bunch of gun noises. Or you guys can pre-order the new version of Skyrim, where you get all the old versions of Skyrim. Or the new Mario game, where you get a real mustache.
Like in a bag?
Like, what's it made of?
Hair.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Nerdstrodamus. I'm Dr. Pants.
I'm Lambo.
I'm Punk.
And today we're talking about a very important topic, and it is pre-ordering. Should you pre-order?
Why do I have to pre-order a game? Is it
So you get it.
You order it before you order it? What does this mean? What is this? What is
It's
this?
ensuring that you get a copy.
But if I want my copy of Madden, can't I just go get it?
Well, see, here's the thing, and we're going to talk about that. Because, and this is why, this is a special episode, everybody knows going into video game stores and whatnot, you're always asked to pre-order stuff.
Especially corporate ones.
Especially corporate ones, like,
that we're not going to name by name.
no. But,
They pester you. They won't let you leave.
no. Unless you pre-order, or get that subscription, or the gameplay guarantee.
Oh no.
Or take a survey.
It's almost like they're all part of a circle of life.
You're cutting a little deep here.
Yeah, I know.
But anyway, the interesting part about this episode then is the fact that we have a gradient of game store employees.
Yes, we do,
We
actually.
have no experience, former employee, current employee. So we can really bring some ideas to the table and really discuss this, I think, from a lot of different perspectives.
Indeed. So I'm going to test your guys' abilities to remember some of the most strange and awkward pre-order bonuses of all time. Are you ready for this?
I'm terrible with quizzes.
I'm actually pretty good.
Yes.
But I've been out of the game for a little while. Game.
All right. Now, in order for this to happen, I'm going to give you a question. I'm going to ask you about a particular game, and you're going to tell me what was the pre-order bonus, except for the last question. I'll ask you which one wasn't the pre-order bonus.
Okay.
Let's start with Street Fighter 4.
Oh.
Okay. Or rather, not too far along ago purchase or release. So Street Fighter 4, what came with it? Was it a waifu pillow, finger puppets, or a sexy bikini calendar, also including Blanca as the March girl?
I kind of want the calendar just for that.
I think it was finger puppets.
I'll kind of leave. It seems weird enough that it would have to be finger puppets.
I was totally an employee when Street Fighter 4 came out, and I think I distinctly remember finger puppets because I think you would actually like thumb wrestle with them and stuff. Like, do you remember?
That's coming back to me now. I'm vaguely
Like, do you remember
that.
this? Okay,
Yeah.
maybe it's just some weird fever dream, and maybe
Is that your final answer?
I'm saying finger puppets.
Finger puppets.
It's finger puppets!
Yes!
Ding, ding.
Yes.
Nice. Our next game is around the same time. Resident Evil 5 came out. That was a great game.
Actually, I bought that.
Yeah.
I may have pre-ordered it.
Was one of the pre-order bonuses a DLC season pass,
No.
a replica green herb,
No.
or a Resident Evil 5 snow globe?
Snow globe. I'm going to snow globe.
Are you sure about that one?
I'm leaning that way.
Okay, there's no way it was a season pass.
No,
there's no way. And
Even though there was a lot of DLC for that game.
there was, but season passes I don't think were a thing yet. I'm gonna go snow globe. I think it was a snow globe.
It's the snow globe.
Yes!
Yeah, it's really bizarre looking.
Why a snow globe? It's in the desert. Was it like
What
a
was
sand
inside
globe?
the snow globe?
It was
Sand.
It was the two main characters, like in action poses.
Did that come out around like Christmas time?
That's a good question. That would make some sense.
It might have been like holiday season, but I don't know.
Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag.
Okay.
What was a pre-order bonus? Was it a beer pong set, a football, or pot holders?
What?
You know, the pirate one. The one about pirates.
Okay, hold on. The options are a football,
A beer
pong set,
pot holders.
or pot holders. I'm gonna say the beer pong set.
I'm gonna say football.
I think it's a beer pong set.
Is that your final answers? It's the first time you've been split.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a football.
Woo!
Really?
Yeah.
Oh God! All right.
Yeah, I know.
Why? Why was it football?
And why wasn't it pot holders?
I don't know why it would be pot holders. And you know what? Good job, because I totally would have believed if you had said it was pot holders.
And finally, Sonic games always have strange pre-order bonuses because I think they need to con people into buying the game the first day it comes out.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Which one's
Sure.
the fake pre-order bonus? So a Sonic hat that came with Sonic Colors,
Okay.
a Sonic Kaleidoscope that came with Sonic Generations, or 25 lives in Sonic Lost World.
Okay. I know it's not the first one. I remember the Sonic hat. I remember the Sonic hat coming with Sonic Colors. So I know it's not that one.
I want to say the kaleidoscope is the fake one.
So maybe you're right. Maybe it is a kaleidoscope. I don't remember the kaleidoscope. I think you're right.
I think it's the
I
kaleidoscope.
think it's a kaleidoscope.
One kaleidoscope? One kaleidoscope?
Yeah.
It's the kaleidoscope!
All right, there we go.
There's
Yeah.
no such thing. That's silly.
It was.
It would be kind of cool though.
But it's also silly to give 25 extra lives. And
Well, if you're really bad at Sonic, unlike some of us who are really good.
But it just seems strange. Anyway, those are some of the weirdest ones, especially if you scour the interwebs looking for things. Some of the other ones that I came across were, I guess, for like Dead Island Riptide, that actually came with like a zombified like bikini.
Oh no, that was a special edition thing.
Yeah, but it was only for pre-order.
Yeah, you can only pre-order that, but yeah, it was. Wasn't it the case? Because I think like you opened it and that's where the game sat.
Yeah, so
that was
it's
weird.
pretty strange.
That was weird.
Yeah, some bizarre ones.
So, let's actually get to the meat of why we're here.
Yes.
We're going to talk about actually pre-ordering things. I think we all have our own stories about pre-orders, don't we?
we do. Yeah.
I mean, we've got it from ends of actually, being the people taking the pre-orders, people actually making the pre-orders, all kinds of stuff.
There was a gradient. I've never worked at a corporate game store.
No, but I am a former employee of a corporate game store,
And I'm currently working at a corporate game store.
right. So we have all kinds of opinions on this and how we've seen this. So,
Yeah.
so I think we should start by actually sharing some stories that maybe we had some problems with pre-ordering.
Yeah. So, not that I'm ever going to blame the brick and mortar game stores for mine, but I pre-ordered a Zero Time Dilemma. It was one of the non-regame games. It was the last one, and there was of course an odyssey that went along with the pre-order system. They didn't have the games. They didn't ship them out on time. I waited over a week.
Okay, so here's basically what happened. We pre-ordered it on Amazon.
Yeah.
For the 3DS, because that's how we do. The pre-order bonus on Amazon was a watch from the game series.
Just like the first two games.
Which is really cool.
Yeah. So apparently there was an issue with the shipping of the watches, and they were damaged or something went wrong with them. And
it was a bunch of stuff that whatever, but it made me so I couldn't play my game.
It made it so Amazon wouldn't ship them out day one. And when we found out about that, I think you went the first weekend.
No, I went the day.
Oh, the day.
I went the day. So I went down to my brick and mortar corporate game store that day, and they had one copy, and it was pre-ordered. Meaning they only got in as many copies as they pre-ordered, which is lovely that person did that, and I'm glad they had it for that person, but I couldn't get my game.
But this brings up an important lesson about pre-ordering, I think.
I should probably have pre-ordered it at the brick and mortar game store.
At the brick and mortar game store, because Amazon, I think, has kind of screwed us over a couple of times.
A couple of times. Most of the time, like 90% of the time, they deliver their games day one. You get a discount. There's nothing wrong with doing Amazon Prime. In fact, not to belie the awesomeness and the familiar faces of your local game store.
Well, actually, Punk didn't even know that, like, Amazon Prime, you get 20% off.
Yeah, I had no clue because I always do my pre-order at my store.
To be fair, you get a discount working there.
Right. It's
So-
not 20%. But,
It's close, right? Yeah. But, and that brings up a point with me where if it's like an obscure Japanese game, it's probably best to pre-order because the brick and mortar stores aren't going to get many copies of that in.
and it's not just obscure Japanese games. It's a lot of games that people don't know a lot about.
Right.
Which one of the most recent ones, for me at least, was A Way Out. Which I mean, I think a lot of people didn't think it was going to be that good. We were discussing earlier how the company didn't even think it was going to be that good.
It was released by EA, who is known for like really pushing their games and everything, and they're basically they just want money. That's all they want. But an infographic came out that said the EA only predicted that A Way Out in its first year would sell a little over 200,000 copies, and in its first 3 to 4 weeks being out, it has sold close to 1 million,
which is crazy.
Like 4 to 5 times the amount they thought it would sell in its first year.
Yeah,
and. So we've played the game. Have you actually played it yet?
I have not. I've been waiting on a friend of mine to actually play it because it is strictly co-op.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
I actually thought that was going to diminish the game sales. I really thought that was going to hurt it.
And I thought the horrible cover was going to diminish the game sales because I didn't even realize they had done a physical release for it. It seemed like mainly like a digital title.
Right.
And when I found it, it was like this drab thing with like the 2 guys on foot.
But the game is fun. The game's a lot of fun. Yeah. It's only $30, and if you want to play online, only one person needs a copy of the game,
which is amazing.
The other person downloads the demo.
Yeah, and you just invite them.
Yeah. So they did a really good job with that. But as you were saying, you ran out of copies.
Yeah, there's some people pre-order it, and the corporate saw like, oh, not a lot of people are interested there, so we're just going to send them enough for their pre-orders, and maybe one more. But that one more got sold, and people come in looking for it because they see people playing it online. They're like, wow, we want to play this now. Well, you can't. Sorry.
Which so I have a story about corporate then. My story about pre-ordering is when Prototype came out. And back on I think it was just the Xbox 360. I don't think Prototype released it.
No, because it was like a fight between the PS3 and the Xbox. PS3 had Infamous.
Xbox had
Prototype.
But I think Prototype 2 came out in both. But anyway, so Prototype released, and I was the only one working the day of release that morning, and we got enough copies in to cover the pre-orders, and that was it. And it wasn't a bad number of pre-orders. I want to say it was like 30 to 40 pre-orders at that store.
That's not bad.
It wasn't bad. But we had like no extra copies. And the district manager at the time told me, just sell through the copies. Anybody comes in, wants the game, sell it to them.
Why? Why do that?
Okay.
That's going to put me in such a horrible position.
Now I understand why corporations do the things they do. But in all honesty, I said no. I didn't tell that to him. I said, sure, I'll do that. And if he's watching, sucks to be you, because I didn't listen to you, because you're an awful person. Oh no, I hated him. He was truly an awful human being, and I hated him.
He doesn't work for the company.
No, I don't work for the company. Neither does that district manager. So he can suck it.
Okay.
Anyway,
Wow.
but
Nice.
I said, like, after that, people came in and asked if we had any extra copies, and I said no. I told them outright no. I said maybe later we would get more in, but at the time, when I hadn't gotten my shipment, I said no, we only have pre-orders, and I told them, you should have pre-ordered it. Of course,
Fight City Hall.
pretty much. So I didn't want to go along with that, because that's not right. If
No.
you pre-order a game, it says on the receipt, it's guaranteed for 48 hours. It should be guaranteed for 48 hours.
And to bring that up too, like I've run into the same issue with like previous store managers or even district managers telling me, hey, just sell through them, because they don't speculate it's going to be a really good pickup rate.
No.
So, I mean, not wanting to lose my job, I'm like, all right, that's fine. I guess I'll do that. And I do. And then those pre-order people come in.
And it hurts.
And then I get yelled at. I'm just the messenger. Don't yell at me.
And this is two sides of it then, because what do you risk? Getting yelled at by your bosses or getting yelled at by customers? Do you do your job, or do you do what, the customers would want? It's hard to say. I felt bad mostly because one of our regular customers was one of the people who had pre-ordered it, and there were a couple of other regulars, and I didn't want to screw them over, because they were decent people who I didn't want to like get disenfranchised with the whole thing. So
And you can't really blame the game store people, because there's a lot of stuff that's tied to their job that actually asks them to do it. They have to hit certain numbers. I remember there was a lot of times when, especially when I had a lot of, like every one of my friends was working there, I would feel bad if I ever canceled a game on one of them or something like that.
I still feel bad doing that to people. Like, if I go in and Punk's there, I don't want to cancel a pre with you.
Don't wait till someone else you don't know is there. I don't care.
At worst, I would move my pre-order to something else.
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
Because in all honesty, and a lot of people don't know this, there's a lot of hate online for pre-ordering, and you just shouldn't pre-order, and don't listen to the game store employees. But the truth is,
Well, there's certain things you shouldn't listen to them for, right?
well, probably. But what a lot of people don't understand is like those What?
I don't want to walk in there and be like hassled.
Well, then complain to corporate because the
Yeah.
employees are just doing their jobs. Because in all honesty, and it was this way when I worked there, and it's still that way. There's a certain quota of pre-orders, memberships, protection guarantees.
It's the circle of life.
Yeah, it kind of starts with pre-ordering a game. So if you pre-order a game, then people will probably buy a game.
They'll buy it.
They'll buy that game, and then when they're done with it,
they'll trade it in.
they'll trade it in, and they'll get credit,
and then they'll want to buy more games.
and they'll use that credit to pre-order a game. Because most of the time there's some kind of like bonus on trade-ins if you
extra
pre-order.
percentage or extra something.
And the membership gets them more on their trade-in.
Even more.
And then also makes them want to buy pre-owned games, which the company actually makes all their money on.
Right.
Oh,
Those
Yeah,
corporate
they
game
make
stores,
they make very little on the actual game.
that's where the least overhead is. So they want to push the used games and stuff. And so, it creates this nice little circle, and then you'll want to pre-order the next big game as it comes out. I guess, it works, and said game store got in trouble a few years ago online. Somebody kind of posted, here's how it works. Here's why you're getting hassled as a game buyer in your store. And now a lot of the stuff has gone hush-hush about it, but it seems like that stuff is mainly still in place.
But I mean, you got to understand that it is a place to make money, and it's a great model to make money.
Yeah.
It makes sense. No, you shouldn't pre-order everything.
No, but there are certain times when we, especially the gaming public, the buying public, we use it as sort of a way to punish, corporate overlords for money gouging. We have to look at EA.
We have to.
with Star Wars Battlefront 2. That was a win for consumers. There's even if the game was actually pretty decent and a lot of people still bought it anyway, and it's a decent game, it doesn't matter. It means that we are going to frown on bad business practices, and we're going to use the money from pre-orders to kind of make our statement.
Right, and because of that, they took out microtransactions for a limited time. They did come back, but they were nowhere near as bad as originally publicized when everything happened. So it was a win. It wasn't a grand victory, but it was a step in the right direction, which is nice. The one I want to bring up is No Man's Sky, because there was a lot of stuff after that where people were like, just stop pre-ordering games. This is the main reason why you shouldn't pre-order. Because No Man's Sky was hyped beyond recognition with all this great footage and all these great promises, and in the end, it didn't deliver. I mean, we've all played it. We can all agree it did not deliver on the promises.
I was bored with it, sadly.
I got kind of bored too, and at this point now, it would actually probably be pretty fun to play.
Yeah, by the time it launches on Xbox One, it'll probably be a good game.
Has any game ever delivered on all its promises?
I mean, that's kind of a silly question.
It is.
Maybe probably games that just underrepresent themselves, and then they come out and they're actually really fantastic, I suppose.
Persona 5.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, Persona 5 was exceeded my expectations.
Yeah, I don't really see anything about it before it came out.
I mean, I did, but I was following it the minute it got announced.
Okay, you were definitely following it, but even working in the game store, I didn't see anything about it. We weren't even told to really hey, push it. Hey, this game's coming out. It was just kind of something small, and also it was out, and it was huge.
Yeah.
It blew up, and I loved it. Of course.
I think we all love it, don't
Yeah.
we? Like every one of us here?
Oh, yeah.
And I know that it gets brought up a lot. But number one, if you haven't played Persona 5, go play it. It's really, really good. But number two, there's a game that delivered on all its promises, and has there been any DLC to fix anything? Were there any bugs with it?
Nope.
No, it was a finished game when it came out.
Uh-huh.
And it was really good. But this brings up another thing about pre-ordering. Persona 5 had a $100 collector's edition that I got because I pre-ordered it. But you know who wanted it and didn't get it because they didn't pre-order it?
So sad.
So my point is, though, I wouldn't have gotten it if I didn't pre-order it. And I knew that I wanted it, and I wanted that special edition, and now you can't find it.
Nope.
Unless you're willing to drop a lot of money on it.
God, yes.
Yeah.
So much money.
So, special editions, if you know you want the special edition, especially if it's not like an $80 one that's $20 more in the base one because it comes with a steelbook and a little CD insert or something. Yeah. If it comes with a lot of stuff, if it's more money and you know you want the stuff because you're a collector or you want to support that game, you're going to have to pre-order it. And that's just how it is.
I mean, the number one things that I usually avoid with my pre-orders are lots and lots of, cosmetic in-game bonuses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I feel like that's in there to snag, especially, and this is me typecasting, younger gamers. I'm gonna say like kids in high school.
Oh,
They love having all the gold flecked everything, and it's just like it's just like a who can pee further kind of situation.
I just don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care what costume I'm wearing.
Well, we don't, but we're not 15.
Sometimes I do. I mean, I'm kind of like, oh, look at my clothes. Even though I'm first person, I don't see myself at all.
Right?
It looks cool.
Let's wrap it up here and just talk about pre-ordering in general. The internet believes it's inherently evil. Is it inherently evil?
No, I don't think so.
No, it's not. But it comes down to, should you pre-order everything?
No.
No.
And don't be coerced into doing so.
No. The game stores have to do that, but it's advertising. It's them trying to make money. But you're not going to hurt their feelings if you say no.
But you will hurt their feelings if you cancel a pre-order. Don't do that.
Only a little. But, so when should you pre-order?
When the game is going to be difficult to find.
If it has a really good pre-order bonus.
If it has a really good special edition that you know you want. And if it's just a game that you know, for a fact, you want day one, just pre-order it. Because the stores use pre-order just to stock themselves. And if it doesn't get pre-ordered, then they're not going to stock it. So don't say no to pre-ordering. Just be careful. Do some research. And also, keep expectations low. Don't get overhyped by all the advertising and everything. Don't make it another No Man's Sky.
And, you always have the option to digitally pre-order things, which also comes with its own caveats, of course.
But even still, even if you don't digitally pre-order it, because most of the time the bonuses are weird, keep in mind, if you can't find a physical copy, you can just download it digitally. We live in that age. So,
I mean, game stores, unfortunately, are going to go the way of the CD stores eventually. It's inevitable, especially once storage stops being a problem. So we'll be playing games in the cloud eventually anyway. That'll probably be the way it eventually goes.
you mean like PS Now?
Yeah. No, I seriously think that's where we're
No,
going
I
anyway
think so
eventually.
too. But
Yeah.
I mean, this is basically what it comes down to. Don't pre-order everything. Pre-order things you know you definitely want. It's your money. Be smart with it. That's what it comes down to. But you know what else sucks? You know what else sucks? You know what rips my pants? When you pre-order a game on a system you're super excited for, and you know you want to get it day one. You want to be the first one to play it. And then the company who made the game said, hey, we've got a new system coming out, and we're going to take that game you pre-ordered and you really want, and we're going to pour it over to that new system. And we're going to release it a month earlier for all those people who can get the system, even though it's sold out everywhere. So you can't play it till a month after everyone else has played it.
Who did that? Who's the monster?
The big N themselves.
No! They didn't!
I mean, it was 12 years ago.
Oh.
It was Twilight Princess. Twilight Princess I was super excited for on the GameCube, and they announced it on the Wii and said, oh, by the way, we're going to release it a month earlier. And then, I was working at the corporate game store at this time, and my manager would not let me purchase my copy because there weren't enough for all the pre-orders, and hey, I worked there, so it didn't matter.
Whoa.
There's a lot of rage in here. A lot of rage.
There's a
Darkness in this.
Hashtag, there's a darkness in here. But anyway, for Nerdstrodamus, I'm Dr. Pants.
Lambo.
I'm Punk.
And just remember, be smart, be safe.
And don't forget to pre-order our next episode.
Don't forget to pre-order our next episode. We'll catch you next time.